Hello everyone and welcome to Robotics and Mechatronics tutorials. In this tutorial, we explain how to write a Python script that will transfer data from an Arduino microcontroller to a desktop computer. And we explain how to visualize and plot this data in real time. And over here you can see the plot. Here, we constructed a simple Arduino C script that will generate a harmonic signal shown over here, and that will use a serial port to print this signal. On the other side of the loop, or better to say, on the other side of the communication channel, we have this Python script that's running in the background, and this Python script reads the information from the serial port, stores this information inside of a list, and then finally this script plots the data, and here's the plot. And this is done in real time. That is, in the background, this Arduino script is continuously running on Arduino and printing this data, and the data is being visualized over here. But before we start with explanations, let's explain the main motivation for studying the material presented in this tutorial. Namely, in practice, you will use Arduino as a low-level controller or as a low-level data acquisition card. For example, Arduino can read sensor information. This can be an inertial measurement unit, temperature sensor, pressure sensor, maybe some distance sensor, or something similar. Then, you would need to transfer this data to your local computer such that you can visualize this data, or such that you can perform some form of signal processing, or that you can include this data in your paper or student report. In these and similar cases, you will need to write a serial communication link that will read data from Arduino and store it on your computer. That's precisely what you will learn in this video tutorial. And finally, before we start with the presentation, we need to mention that links to all the code files developed in this video tutorial are given in the description below this video, as well as in the comment section. So let's start. First of all, open Arduino and implement this sketch. Here we include the math library since we want to use sine and cosine functions, and over here in the setup function, we set up the serial communication object, we set the baud rate, this is the speed of transfer of data, and after this is being executed, and this is executed once, we will create a serial object and we can continue. Over here, we declare and initialize a simple iterator or an index that will be used to create sine and cosine functions. We initialize it with 0, and inside of our loop function, which is continuously being executed, we are simply printing to the serial object, we are printing this function over here. Of course, you can change this, you can adapt this, you can do all sorts of things. You can print any form of function, or you can even read sensor information. Then we are incrementing the S iterator, and we are delaying for some time. And that's it. This is the simplest code. You can, of course, change this code, and everything explained in this video tutorial applies to more complex Arduino code. Okay. Next, make sure that you properly upload this code. First of all, make sure that your board is properly selected, and make sure that the communication port is correct. Then upload this code. After you do that, the code will run on your Arduino. The next step is to create our Python code. To do that, open a terminal, and the first step is to verify that Python is installed on your system. To do that, you need to type something like this: where Python, and if Python is installed, you should see something like this. Let's see what is the default Python version. If we type something like this, you can see that on my computer, the default Python version is 3.13.1. However, everything explained in this tutorial applies to other Python versions. So here is the idea. First of all, we are going to create a workspace folder. Then inside of that folder, we are going to create a Python virtual environment We are going to activate this Python virtual environment, and finally we will write the code. So let's go to our C drive, and over here on our C drive, let's create a folder called test serial. Let's call it like this, although you can use any other name. Then navigate to that folder, and inside of this folder, which is currently empty, we need to create a Python virtual environment. To create a Python virtual environment, we need to execute this command. Here it is. Here we are creating a Python virtual environment called environment1. And then let's activate this environment by executing this script file. And over here you will see that your Python virtual environment is currently active. Now, inside of this Python virtual environment, we need to install the necessary libraries. In this video tutorial, we will install these 3 libraries. Let me show you. PySerial, which is a library used to establish the communication link, then NumPy, which is used for numerical computations, and matplotlib for plotting the data. So let's start with PySerial. Pip install PySerial, and PySerial should be installed. Then let's install NumPy. And finally, let's install matplotlib. Pip install matplotlib, and here it is. And now matplotlib library will be installed. So let's be patient and wait until everything is installed. Then type pip list to see that all the required libraries are here. As you can see over here, not only matplotlib, PySerial, and NumPy are installed, but also the libraries that are dependencies. Okay, the next step is to write our code. For that purpose, I'm going to use Visual Studio Code, or you can use any other Python editor. If you want to learn how to install Visual Studio Code on your Windows computer, then on the YouTube channel, there's a tutorial explaining how to do that. Okay, so once you start Visual Studio Code, let's create a new Python file, and let's call this file as testserial.py. And here, let's save it inside of this folder, and here we are. And we can continue further. Here, I will allow access. Let me now close this, and let's continue. To save time, I'm simply going to copy and paste the code. And here's the code. Let me close this, and let's start with explanations. First of all, we are importing matplotlib pyplot as plot. PLT or plot will be used for plotting. Then we are importing serial. This is actually our PySerial modules and libraries. Then we are importing time since we want to pause our code. Then we need to import from serial.tools.list ports comports. Comports will be used to print the port information. And here's how we do that. Here, we want to list all the available communication ports, since we want to verify that once you plug in USB connection from your Arduino to computer, we want to make sure that the computer can recognize the port. And here we are printing it. Then we are creating a serial Arduino object. That is, we are creating the serial object. We need to specify 3 things. We need to specify the communication port, we need to specify the baud rate, and we need to specify the timeout. Note over here that the communication port as well as the baud rate should correspond information in our Arduino. So let's see. Here is the baud rate, and if you go here, we can see that baud rate are matching. And to make sure that the communication port is properly being typed, go back to Arduino, click here, and make sure that COM6 is here and that the same number is over here. Then let's wait for some time for the serial object to be initialized. And over here, I'm initializing an empty list that's used to store the data that's being transferred from Arduino. Then we are creating a plot. And over here, I'm creating an index and initializing it to 0. This index counts the received sample. Now, here's one issue. Depending on how fast is your computer, you might not be able to visualize everything in real time, or you might see some delay. Consequently, I'm going to downsample the data, and this n is equal to 5 means that I'm actually storing and plotting every fifth sample. However, if your computer is fast, then you can even try to set n is equal to 1, and in this case, we are going to collect every sample. And over here, I'm using try except formalism to create a link, or actually to receive the data. The link is actually created here. So let's explain what's happening here. Here I'm trying, right? So what I'm trying this section over here, which will be explained, and I'm looking for exception. So what is the exception? The exception is keyboard interrupt. So what is a keyboard interrupt? On a Windows system, keyboard interrupt is Control C. That is, when nothing is being pressed, or when user presses anything on a keyboard except Control C, this part here will be executed. However, if the user presses Control C, this means that we want to reset the connection, that is, that we want to exit. We are closing the Arduino serial port. This is very important. And we are closing the plot. That's it. Here you can also, for example, plot.save or figure save, depending on what you want to do. Okay, so let's see what's happening over here. While true is an infinite while loop. It will be continuously executed. And over here, we are checking if a sample is available on a serial port. That is, if serial Arduino.inWaiting is greater than 1, then if it's greater than 1, something is there, right? What do? We use this value string to read the data. So how do we read the data? So if you go back and if you look at the Arduino code, you will see that we are printing a line. Here we are printing a value. However, we are also printing additional things, some artifacts, such as a new line symbol. And we want to get rid of that. So that's why we are writing something like this. We are reading the complete line until this symbol, which is a symbol for the new line. Then we are decoding it using UTF-8, and we are stripping. Stripping a string means that we want to remove the new line character or the new line symbol. Then the value here is converted from bytes to strings, and here inside of this try except branching, we are doing the following. In try, what do? We are here checking the index value, and if the index value divided by n, and here we're looking into integer division, that is, we're looking into remainder. If it's equal to 0, then we process the data and we plot the data. This will be executed every fifth sample. That is, fifth sample, 10th sample, 15th sample, etc., since n is equal to 5. In this way, you can downsample your data and you can speed up the plotting process. So what do we do over here? We are appending the list called collected data, which is declared over here, with the value. However, the value is converted from a string to float. And now the collected data contains all the data. Then we are clearing the axis, and then we are simply plotting. We are plotting the collected data, we are setting the line width, and we are setting the color. And then over here, we are introducing a small delay in order to refresh the plot. If you don't have this delay, nothing will be plotted. And then over here, we're increasing index, and that's it. Note that this increase of index is outside of our if loop. Now, if there is an error, we are just passing. So what is an error? Sometimes due to some error or interference, you might get a data which is not data, which is some series of strings or some characters, and you want to ignore that. So consequently, we are simply passing, and that's it. And at the end, over here, we have another exception. That is, if the user presses Ctrl+C, we are closing the port and we are closing our figure. That's it. So let's save this file and let's finally run it. To run the file, go back to the terminal, and inside of this terminal, first verify that the file exists. It exists, and then simply type python test serial.py and press enter. you can see that the port is recognized, it's communication port 6, and now your graph will be generated and you will be able to see your data. And the data looks perfect. It's being updated more or less in real time. Okay, that's all for today, and thanks for watching.